Oh, hey, we're live. Welcome, everyone. It is Friday, and what does that mean? That means it is time for Manufacturing E-Commerce Success, our Friday edition, and I'm one of the co-hosts of the show, Damon Pastolka. Right over there is that pretty guy, Kurt Anderson, my co-host. Away, Kurt.
Damon, happy Friday, my friend. Hey, how was your birthday this week? Is it still going on? Like, is it still birthday?
It was incredible. I had a great day.
Okay, well, hey, happy. We're just continuing that party. Happy
Yep.
birthday. But dude, this is, man, I turned my pacemaker up for this one. I've been up since like 4 a.m. I am like juiced. This is gonna be fire, and I'll explain why in 1 second. But
Not only fire, but it's going to be a bonfire.
it's a bonfire, dude. It is a big bonfire. So, guys, I want to introduce my dear friend, the lovely, the amazing, the one of a kind, Tina Marie St.CYR. Tina Marie, happy Friday. How are you?
Happy Friday. I am doing awesome. It's so good to be with you. So thanks, Kurt. Thanks, Damon. It's awesome. And happy birthday.
Yeah, he's a special guy, man. His wife spoiled him all week. And so, all right, we're going to dig in. We have tons to uncover. So everybody out there, drop us a note. Let us know that you're there. I dropped Tina Marie's LinkedIn and her website in the chat box. You definitely want to connect with Tina Marie, and you're going to find out in a couple minutes why this is a must. So, Tina Marie, we have tons to uncover. You are the CEO of Bonfire Coaching. You're certified in about 1,000 different things. You have like just this, you are just the entrepreneurship is just in your DNA. We have so much to uncover. We're going to be talking about human first culture, a human first culture. Before I go there, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Now, we just heard a great story about, you're coming to us live from Houston. We just heard a great story of how you and your family ended up in Houston. So as a little girl in Houston growing up, since 2 years old, if I'm not mistaken, as a little girl growing up in Houston, Texas, who was your hero?
Oh, that's easy. Well, okay, so it's a half and half answer on that. Half was my dad. I was daddy's girl, and I grew up loving sports. We would be in the best section for all the Oilers games and the Astros games. And my second birthday was actually on the mound with Johnny Bench.
My goodness.
Pitch. I threw out the pitch to start the game. And so my dad and I, we were sports. He's taught me pool, otherwise known as billiards. Love the dude, right? And then the other is my mom. My mom was a strong warrior woman, can-do attitude, and a great cook. So,
Nice.
I got the blend. I'm a sports fiend. Go Astros. Yay. And, I'm also a great cook.
Wow. Okay. Well, all right, let's unpack that for a minute before we dig into our hot topic. So, Damon, Johnny Bench. So, for those of us old enough to go back to that day, so man, you feel the jealousy just coming through. Johnny Bench. Are you kidding me? So,
all of them. And I've met Terry Bradshaw. Yeah. So, like,
you know what?
My God.
I have a funny story. When my wife and I, we go to baseball stadiums. We're at a baseball stadium one year. We were in Houston, and I'm like, I've got to use the men's room. So I run back, and I thought I want to get back for the national anthem and who threw out the first pitch, and I missed it. And I come back to my seat. My wife's like, "Hey, who's Earl Campbell?"
What?
I'm like, Earl Campbell threw out the first pitch. Are you kidding me? And guess what, Tina Marie? I have never missed the first pitch of a baseball game ever since, Damon. So
exactly. Yeah. Kurt, you just need to hold it, man. You just need to hold it.
Earl Campbell. Are you kidding me? I missed
I love Earl Campbell. My dad knew Earl Campbell. And I sat, it's strange because he got given a Corvette like back in the day. And I sat on the hood of his Corvette waiting for him.
Did you? Now I got more.
Nice.
And FOMO. All right, mom and dad's name. What's dad's name for us, please?
Dad is Jim.
How about warrior mom?
And Jeannie. She's awesome.
Okay, so all right, big shout out to Jim and Jeannie. So, man, that was a great story, Johnny Bench. Yeah. We might have to incorporate some baseball trivia into this.
We could talk sports the entire show, and
right. Maybe
I'll pull out my baseball trivia cards. This is how
Ryan.
No way!
Oh yeah. My family got me these for Christmas, and I roll through them just to keep sharp.
We got to have another show, just you and me, dude. Okay.
I'll trust me. I'll be on that show as well. All right. So let's dig in. Let's dig into our hot topic. We are here to talk about humans first, a human first culture. You were talking last year, it was big people over profits, profits. You're making a transition, human first. We're going to dig in. We're going to unpack. Damon, it's like playing sand. We were talking about sports. It's like playing sandlot football today. What's every play in sandlot football? Go deep. Just go deep, Damon. Go deep. Well, we're going deep.
Get open, go deep.
First, we're
Keep
going
your elbows together on the catch, man.
Oh, there you go.
We're going deep. So we're going to uncover, we're going to unpack, and we have the authority, the expert on the subject to get there. Tina Marie, where did this, Damon, watch what I do. Where did this spark? Where did this passion? I couldn't help myself. Where did the spark? Where did the passion for being an expert in the subject of human first? Where did this come from?
Well, thanks for asking. I love humans. I really do. And it's the biggest asset we're ever going to have in any business, whether you're starting out and you're hiring your first VA or your accountant or your first person to team with you in your vision, your idea, and your delivery of who you are, what you are, and why you are, all the way up to huge corporations, which I've come from. I've been team leaders of massive organizations and great teams. And if we do not have skills and ways to enroll the people of our team and really connect with them, which we are in a huge deficit of over the last 3 years, if we don't have the skills as leaders, quickly our role of a leader can become a drain. And I've met so many leaders that say, yeah, I wanted the promotion. I got the promotion. Yay. Because that equates to new lifestyle, new salary, new benefits, things of that nature. We have that want to grow and excel. Yet it also comes with responsibilities. And that means you've got to lead your people. And so many leaders think they want it and then they don't. And so what I love is working with leaders who love leading people. And if you don't yet love leading people, we need to transform your perspective, your thinking, your soft skills, as they call them, which I don't think they're so soft anymore. They're needed. They're vital. And the want to have people really know what it means to have a culture. It's more than just your core values and some type of written mission, vision, or promises on a website that you forget to even refer to anymore or live from. And so I've been culture centric since I started my consulting and my coaching business because it matters to me. Humanity is not going to evolve if we don't pay attention and help each other. And then I moved it into AI specific because that's bringing in such a different dynamic that is creating pain, confusion, and a mass exodus of people out of industry into trying to create their own company. So I'm ready to talk about it, everything in between and on top, underneath, and all of it. So hopefully that answered your question.
Okay. Damon, is it getting hot in here, or is it just me?
Dropping the mic already.
You have a garden hose? Do you have a garden hose nearby? So it's going to really heat up. The bonfire is cooking. So all right, let's give a shout out. We've got Darcy, our dear friend, our beloved Darcy. Love you, my friend. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi,
We've got Whitney.
Whitney's here.
Texas.
Whitney's in Houston. So
She's
we
right
call
there.
her, and guess what we call her? Whitney Houston. So
Whitney Houston.
We've got some other friends. Again, drop us a note. Let us know that you're out there. Give us a hello. You definitely, absolutely, or you want to connect with Tina Marie here today, and lots of exciting things going on. So, all right, Tina Marie, let's take it to the next level. And guys, you're just getting power of people.
Yeah.
The soft skills aren't so soft anymore. Okay. Yes, you're getting a little sliver of the mic drops that are coming our way. Tina Marie, for folks that this is new to, okay. Humanists, I'm 54. I don't know if humanists has ever come out of this mouth, right? So this is a whole new, this is like class. This is master class right now.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Enlighten us. Human first culture. What is it? Describe it. Lay it on us.
Okay. Well, first I want to say that the future is here and we as humans and humanity are already behind. So what that means is that if we truly check in with ourselves, there's plenty conversation right now. If you've seen Boston Dynamics and any of their videos on, I mean, I love watching them. Who loves watching Boston Dynamics and their little dogs that dance, right? I love that. And then they have the big robots that are doing everything. And then there's the AI where they're teaching them emotions and facial structures and responses, and they're thinking, and they're very human-like in their way of being. All of that is programmed. So alongside the fascination and the wow is the holy crap, where is this going to go? And what does it mean for not only humanity, but selfishly, what does it mean for me as a contributor, as a professional, as a business owner, as someone who wants a future? And how do I either marry and join in with AI, that which you resist persists? So how do I bring it into me and dive in and have courage and learn how to use it? Or do I let the fear of, where's humanity going? I remember hearing my grandmother say this on the porch as we snapped peas in Mississippi. Oh, the future's going to Hades, right? And they're saying these youngsters aren't going to value what we gave them, and we're all going to, you remember those conversations.
That's awesome.
We're still at that conversation. It's just a different conversation with different components. And it's called robots, AI, intelligence, and ultra intelligent dynamics and mappings and assessments and things that we need to lean into it. So human first culture means employers, we need to make sure that we are putting our humans first in our considerations of our core values, of our culture, of our mission and our vision and where we're going, instead of, because it's going to be easy to do, and I've seen it already happening, instead of thinking, well, we could cut costs here. We can automate this. We don't need a huge workforce. We can have them work from home. Is that really good or bad? And what does it mean to be human in a blended environment or an industry where AI is going to be doing the majority of human work? Where do humans go from here? How do we grow ourselves? How do we have these conversations with our employer to open up the curiosity and get a game plan for this now? And what rules do we put in place to have us remain human and not allow technology to take away the very core element of who we truly are? And that is our empathy, our emotional intelligence, our intuition. I beg to differ. I do not believe programming a robot or whatever we end up calling them to have intuition is even doable. And so with humans, we need to lean into, how do we develop our intuition? How do we speak from that in a corporate sense? How do we lean into our gut feelings? How do we lean into having emotional conversations and not taking it personally or thinking people need to calm down? We have an entire range of emotion that is valuable in a human essence, and we need to give all of our staff the freedom to fully be human in the future workforce, which is absolutely right now.
Okay.
Yep.
On our little show, we have these things called moments of silence, where like when just wisdom, brilliance, expertise is just like laid on us.
Moments together.
We just want to take a second and just kind of just savor the flavor, man. And you know what? You just mentioned grandma, and you know what, what we describe it as. Remember grandma's at Sunday dinner, Damon, and like everything grandma made just tastes a little bit better. You know, like the pie, like Tina Marie. That was like grandma's Sunday dinner right there. It was just so good. Let's keep the party going. Okay. So you're talking about what's happening, technology changes. And like you said, 100 years ago when planes, trains, automobiles, that was the technology
radio
time.
Yeah.
Radio, TV. I mean, like the printing press, 500 years ago, right? This is never, progress has never not occurred, right? This is not new, but when you're in it and you laid it, what's in it for me? Let's talk about risk. Okay. Technology, time, what was it, Bob Dylan? Times are a changing quickly, right?
I love Mr. Bob.
Mass hysteria. Dogs and cats living together. Damon, what movie was that? Anybody remember that one?
Nope.
Ghostbusters, 1984.
Oh, there you go.
Mass hysteria. It's Bill Murray. It was dogs and cats living together. What is happening here? It's like Ghostbusters all over again.
And
right?
Darcy even said the advent of the internet. I mean, back whenever that happened, we're like, what's this thing and how do we use it?
What is
Yeah.
the internet, right? Right. What is the internet thing? So, all right. Hey, great comments here.
By the way, I have another Bobism that I love to, or Mr. Robert Zimmerman that I love to quote, and it's those not busy being born are busy dying. So that's what we're talking about here. We're busy being born. We need to learn how to lean into it and ride the wave instead of being crushed by the wave. Right.
Yeah.
So
it really is. I mean, it really is. And the thing I was talking yesterday was something about AI, and it really kicked into the public spotlight when ChatGPT hit last year in October.
Right.
And just think what it's done in that 7-8 months.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, I mean, the rate of changes is accelerating with this. And I think, yeah, totally. It's not going to replace a lot of things, but it's going to replace some very mundane things and some things that we should be embracing.
Right.
That they change.
And the truth is we want to. So there was a graphic, and I don't have one to share with you, but I can tell you about the graphic, right? By the way, hi, Len. Great to have you here. The graphic is this. So picture a graphic where you've got, X and Y, and you've got human adoption of technology as one line, and you've got the rate of advancement of technology as another line. So the rate of advancement of technology is an exponential hyperbole. I mean, it's just going out the roof, right? Very short time frame right now for the expansion because it's advancing so fast. In fact, if we think about it right now, there are technologies that are already advanced that haven't even hit the news. We have no clue about them. And the two areas where most advancements happen in technology are medical and government. So most of all of the advancements we've ever adopted, even the microwave oven itself, was first under government. That's how it was funded. So if you look at that graphic or picture that in your mind, the human adoption, the ability for humans to adopt and implement and work with new technologies is much slower. In fact, as you advance, we think, the youngsters got it. Like I remember whenever my kids were playing, like all the video games, and they'd hand me the controller, and it was almost just a joke. Just hand mom the controller, and they had a bet, how fast can she die? And so I don't even play games anymore because I don't need to be the butt of that joke. But the advancement and the adoption of technology is great when our brains are young. And then I'm sorry, I'm almost 54, Kurt, too. It just declines. And I don't think it declines because our intelligence, our ability to adopt technology declines. It's because we as an aging population learn new ways to do things, and technology hasn't been the operating mechanism for that, right? So we need to embrace technology, utilize it, and then advance ourselves. So the third line I invite us to picture in there is, how am I growing my humanness to advance who I am so that technology becomes a partnership with me, so that I'm all about having Rosie the robot clean my house, and especially clean my cat box. And I'm also really great at saying, robots, you can clean my car, you can do all my grocery shopping, you can do all this stuff, you can even post my social media. But what am I going to do with my time? And that's what we're up against. Kurt, you mentioned the risks. We've got two different parallels that are going to happen, and you're probably already seeing it. One is people are going to become even more lazy because they're going to stop thinking. The robots are going to do everything for them. They're going to binge Netflix. They're going to binge Hot Pockets, and they're going to go, okay, this is the cream of the crop of my life. I love my life. Do you really? You're getting fat and you're getting dumb. The other parallel that they're going to have is that they're going to say, great, I have so much time on my hands now. Where are those 100 books that I bought but I never read? I'm finally going to digest the intelligence that I thought I was going to be at this part of my life. And I'm going to grow me, because there's going to be new communities where we can grow advancements in humanity and solve the true problems that we're here to solve, and stop trying to figure out how to cut our taxes, how to get more mileage out of our cars. It's all going to be done right? But who are we going to become? And that's where I want to be. I want to be with the thought leaders, the people that are solving the true humanistic problems. And I believe the advancing industries are going to want to cultivate those people. And I can't wait to see what comes from it in the next 10, 20, 30 years. Hopefully I'm still alive. Although I've told my grandchildren, I'm sorry if we screwed things up for you. I'm not here for very much longer. I'm just tossing that hot potato. And I wish you the best, right? So
good luck with that.
That's where I am.
Good luck with what we did.
I'm not here for very much longer, but you're going to do great.
So I'm going to piggyback. So with the risk, all right, the business owner that just head in the sand.
Yeah.
Okay. The laggard, right? You have the early adopters. You have, you know the chart, right? The bell curve. Early adopters. When it becomes standard, the laggards, right? The folks that still have their flip phones. No disrespect to anybody on their flip phone, but I still have my 8-track. I still have my 8-track player, Damon. By the way, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so for the folks with their heads in the sand, how any advice, any suggestions? Like how overwhelming, intimidating?
No. I don't really have advice for them. I don't. It's a waste of breath. I'm sorry. Yeah. Because they'll defend it. They'll go, oh, no, the technology is going to be the doomsday to all humanity. Yeah, it's probably been the doomsday to a lot for a long time.
Yeah.
But we're not going to stop it.
Right.
It's here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I love them and bless them. They're not listening to the show, honestly, because they probably don't know how to have a LinkedIn account and they don't even know how to get on. So
right.
I'm in for the people who are like, ready, let's do this.
They're right. All right. So heck with those other people, like they're all right. I got you. All right. Let's go in this direction. So we're of a generation where like Damon, you're talking about like, if it wasn't 911 worthy, or if it wasn't like bleeding profusely, it was like throw a Band-Aid on it, get back out there, right? Mm-hmm. Just played football. It didn't matter if you had a broken bone sticking out. Get back on the field, right? Mm-hmm. So Tina Marie, what we grew up with is what we brought into the workplace, right? It's like not necessarily having that emotional connection, if you will, using your word, that humanist. Any coaching advice there, for those of us that grew up in a generation where it's like, hey, just suck it up and get back on the field. How do we create a better human first workforce, work environment?
Yeah. Leaders need to learn that haste makes waste, right? The haste of having a human relation with your staff needs to take time. So we need to dial it back on the Gantt charts and the project plans and the check marks inside Slack and on Asana and Monday, and see how you're doing and where you're performing. Because what we haven't done yet that I've seen effectively is learn how to measure and reward and incentivize the advancements in our team of their listening skills, of their follow through, of their organization, of their asking courageous questions, of in a meeting when they take a hit on something and you could tell they could have taken it personally, but they work through it right there in front of you, breathing, shifting their body posture, because you have two different options there too. You can go resistant and I'm not listening, and as soon as I can leave this meeting, I'm going to go create drama in the workplace because of what I heard and what was said, and I'm just going to get back with you. It's called silent vengeance. Or we can come in and say, I'm listening and I'm breathing through this because there's got to be wisdom in here and there's some feedback for me and I may not be able to see it right now, but at least I'm going to. Those people, as they advance, we need to learn how to recognize that, applaud that, reward that, incentivize that, because it's usually only about performance metrics of how much work you did, how the project came in under time, under budget, or hopefully on time, on budget, or in budget, right? We need to start incentivizing and teaching leaders how to recognize the mastery of, and I don't like the term soft skills. I've never liked that term soft skills because I don't like soft serve ice cream. It's sort of bland, but I don't like soft. It's vital skills. These are more vitalistic in our human relations and our advancement as a company and a culture than learning how to do Excel or operate the machine, right? So, it's an interesting divide of where we find ourselves, and we're not advancing EQ inside of our companies. And I've built an entire framework around how do you measure, advance, and promote the EQ effect and factor inside of your company instead of the IQ. IQ is great and skills are great, but robots are going to redo all that stuff. Truth, right? So EQ is going to rule inside of the most advanced cultures, and I call those human first cultures.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have so many questions going so many different directions. I have to touch on courageous questions. I can't let that one go. And I'm at an age where I'll forget if I don't bring it up now. So courageous questions. So that really delicate, tough, board meeting, what have you, somebody, hey, Damon, you da, right? And I picture exactly as you just described when you're in that. And I the silent vengeance. Can you take it another step this one's for me. Yeah. Can you take it another step further? How do you address those courageous questions? How do you prevent that silent vengeance? How do you, right. I know you just had a great description there, but can we take that one step further?
I think it starts with the leadership and the culture and the foundation of how we're going to be with one another, right? Yeah. Something that I'd love all companies to start putting in place is the understanding that we're not going to assume ill intent at the very beginning of a communication. Where we take things personally, which the 4 agreements, if you have not yet read that book, do it. Somebody put that in the chat for me because that's an awesome thing. The 4 agreements. But Don Miguel Ruiz is the author there. But not taking things personally first begins with having a personal mantra and agreement with yourself that no matter what communication comes at you or through you, you're not going to see that with a filter of potential ill intent. And so potential ill intent means that, well, you're in it for you and you're trying to make me wrong, or I'm in it for me and I'm going to prove to you that you're wrong. Like that. In fact, this is what Bonfire does. We get you out of what we call the boxes. The saboteur boxes are the I'm better than you, I'm worse than you, meaning I'm a victim. I deserve this after all I've done for you. I deserve this stuff. And then the craziest of all is the must be seen as box, where you're pretentious to the 10th degree and you just go around trying to be everything to everybody based on what people tell you need to be. Exhausting. All of them are exhausting. So what we need to do as leaders is open up and say, hey, and this, I do this with my team. If you bring my team in, hopefully they'll say this. I'm pretty sure they say this. Because I've said this, but I have a passion in who I am and what I do. Absolutely. Sometimes I can be intense. I know that you probably don't believe that about me, but I tell my team I can be intense. And I've been told that at times I'm intimidating. So I just need to, that's how I am sometimes. Not all the time. I'll be the biggest, ugly, little bear that brings you chocolate. But the truth is, I'm doing it because I'm passionate about who I am and what I do. So I tell my team, if ever I say something, write something, text something, Slack something, and you go, I wonder what that really meant. Instead of taking it personally, you just walk in and say, hey, you sent something, I have some questions, you have time? And I'll go, yeah. And so we sit down, and instead of taking it personally, let's open up a dialogue. Because more than not, 90% of the time, it was a misconstrued communication, and the full intent was never communicated. And now we're more connected. You've got your answer. I got my answer. I'm a better leader. You're a better listener. Great. Let's move on from there. So creating a container of not ill intent. Don't take it personally. Let's have courageous conversations. We're humans first, before the project, before the projects, before the tasks, before the to-dos. We need to be humans together. And we need to establish trust, respect, and honor. I don't care what your title is. Everybody is equal.
Okay. Damon, lots of great comments in the chat box here. And so, guys, we're
thank you, Darcy.
I don't even know what time it is. I think we're top of the hour, over the top of the hour. If you're just joining us, we're here with Tina Marie St.CYR, CEO of Bonfire Coaching. And as you can tell, this is a hot discussion right now, right? You can feel the temperature just rising.
Yeah.
If you have questions, please drop them in the chat box.
Drop the question.
He said.
He's gonna put it in.
We've put Tina Marie's LinkedIn profile in the chat box. Please connect with her. She has a little goodie for you on her website. We have that on in the chat box. Let's go there. Tina Marie, you mentioned IQ, and so I have a little question about emotional intelligence compared to just intelligence, which, Damon, I'm not sure if I have either, right? But it seems like there's a bit of there's a little bit of a divide. Could you just enlighten us on intelligence, emotional intelligence in workplace? Let's go there.
Emotional intelligence is the ability to, like I was alluding to before, understand the full spectrum of human emotions, which there are, I think it's like 1,200 words that describe emotion in the English language alone, right? To understand that it is a governor of our ability to listen, to react, to choose. So all of our behavior first is dominated and guided, like it or not, by our emotions. That's why in sales, we know this, because if you can get an emotional purchase, you got them, right?
Yeah.
But emotions are this factor that make us human. I mean, they're trying to repeat it in robotics and they're doing an okay job, right? But, ladies, we know that we have emotions. We're masters of emotion, right? But what happens is that if we don't allow the emotional spectrum to express itself, we're shutting down a core part of our beingness. And in that is our creativity. I was just telling a client yesterday, gave her feedback. I said, I think you need to have what I call an adult temper tantrum. She laughed. We're on Zoom. She laughed. I said, I'm being very serious. You need to go have an adult temper tantrum. I'm going to give you the way to do it because I have it all dialed in, how you're going to go do it. There's different flavors of having your adult temper tantrum. They're all fun. But more than that, what it does is it gets the angry out so that then you can think again. Because what we tend to do as humans, adults, is that we push the anger down, the frustration down, the worry down, right. We push it all down, the embarrassment down, the shame down. We push it all down and we hope it does not burst. Well, hello. That's why everybody's heavily medicated.
Yeah.
Like, you can't keep pushing it down. Have you ever tried to put a beach ball that's fully inflated under the water? What happens? It comes back up. And so emotions, as emotional intelligence, first is we need to understand that's our beingness and appreciate it and allow it. Not to take it out on other people because that's just not good. You own it for yourself and express it for yourself and use it for yourself because it's an intelligent energy that's guiding all of our behaviors, our decisions, our thinking. And in corporate, we tend to want to make it all PC and look good and be adult before you come in. I give my team pillows. They do angry processes. And, my business partner, Hannah, will say, I just did an angry process this morning. Yay, cool. Tell me all about it. But then we can get on. We can get on with creativity and wonder and aliveness and fascination and solutions because we've allowed our humanness to not get in our own way.
All right, that was fantastic. I have a few things I want to share, Damon. But before we do, Steve, thank you for joining us today. Ashif, Darcy, of course. I love that. I love the comment that Steve dropped. Grab that again, will you please? So, human communication is personal. Yes. It is personal. And Tina Marie, when people say it's business, not personal, they're either fooling themselves or trying not to fool the person that they're talking with. I love that line. And
that's an excuse, by the way. Business is personal. That's an excuse. That's cowardly.
Oh my goodness gracious. So, we're from a generation. Got anybody? Godfather? You guys see The Godfather?
Yes.
We all saw Godfather. Okay. In The Godfather, what do they constantly say? It's business. It's not personal.
Yeah, don't take it personal.
And so an observation years ago that I picked up, you know what? It's business. It's not personal. When somebody has a piano wire strapped around your neck and they're pulling it, or you wake up with a horse head in your bed, I'm going to argue. I think that's a little bit personal. So,
a little bit.
Damon, what do you think? Do you
just cross the line right there?
It's just a little bit personal, right?
Cross the line.
The adult temper tantrum. So, all right, Damon, all right, guys, can you imagine being on a one-on-one session with Tina Marie? So if you want to take your career, your business to a higher level, man, you're just getting a little sliver.
Damon, and your team, your entire team, man.
Tina Marie, are you sitting down, Tina Marie? Are you sitting down?
I am. Do you want me to stand up?
Right. Well, you relax for a second here because I have a couple of things that I want to share that people have said about our dear friend Tina Marie. Damon, are you ready for this?
Yep.
Okay. It gets a little old, exceptional, life-changing growth. But here's the good ones. You guys ready for this? Excellent coach with an arsenal of knowledge. Tina Marie never left my side. Life-changing tools, powerful strategies. I love this one. You ready? You're sitting down. You're definitely sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Understands how to extract your soul's desire. Somebody said this about Tina Marie. Can't say enough about Tina Marie and the Bonfire team. Life-changing experience that I needed. Exceptional leader and coach. For anyone wishing to create positive momentum in their lives or their business, I would hands down recommend Tina Marie. Here's the last one. Here's my favorite. You guys are ready? You ready? When I count my blessings, I count Tina Marie twice.
I know who said that. Yeah.
When I count my blessings, I count Tina Marie twice. Tina Marie, my friend, for Jim, Jeannie, how do you do it? How do you bring this level of enthusiasm, this passion at such a high level, so consistent for your entire career? What's your secret sauce?
I love what I do, and I don't tolerate me being bored or in the mundane. I shift it quickly as soon as it wants to come in, because it's always there on offer, to pout and to be worried about something. And worry never solved the problem. In fact, that is on a Post-it right here on my desk all the time. Worry never solved the problem. And so I just shift myself. You know what? I almost died whenever I was in my early 30s. And so since then, every day is precious. Every moment's precious. Every person's precious. Every relationship's precious. Even the ones where, like, I had a fender bender the other day, or a couple months ago, and I had to meet the person. Okay, then I got pulled over this week. That was cool because I forgot how that works. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting pulled over. What do I do? But I got to meet the police officer, which is really cool. Right. So everything is a blessing. Everything is a miracle, and that's how I show up. I don't have 100% perfect days every day, but I don't let myself dwell in the non-perfectness or it's not even perfect in the lower, in the below the line, as I call it. I don't have time there anymore because we don't know how long we have.
Boom.
Oh, all right.
Oh my goodness.
Mic drop number 20. I don't count 45 minutes ago. So, hey, Jackie St.CYR is here. I'm going to, you know what? It's not like Anderson.
I'm married to that person.
I'm going to assume that might be a relative there. So look at, all right, Jackie, happy Friday. Thank you for joining us. And boy, you have a powerhouse here. Thank you for sharing Tina Marie with us today. You just mentioned the word mundane. So Damon, I've met Tina Marie in person, and I'll tell you, like, what you're seeing here virtually, put a tenfold on it. And that's what she is in person. She is just a dynamo powerhouse. I call her the slayer of the mundane. Mm-hmm. So now the slayer of the mundane. Like, there's no toleration for mundane when Tina Marie is in the room whatsoever. Tina Marie, am I close on that?
You are. Yeah.
Okay.
Mediocrity does not have a place in my life.
It does not have a place. So let's talk mundane versus creating like miraculous, creating like dream opportunities in the workforce, with having a human first culture. Can you go, how do we slay the mundane and create like those real magical opportunities?
Well, we need to know that mundane happens. Our comfort zone is the largest gravity we have in our companies and our team, because it's easy to stay comfortable. We get the salary, the paycheck's there. We've got the bills being paid. We got our planned out vacations. We've got, I'm aiming at this performance review in 6 months. But before we know it, we're bored. And before we know it, we're not included on those really cool projects. So everyone listening, if you have passion inside yourself to advance, you need to take your own bull by the horns and you need to design a plan for your own growth. I don't care if you're inside of a company or you're driving your own company. Beware of boredom, right? Do something that's advancing you, even if it's go talk to a stranger today. I did the 75 Hard program 3 times, and part of that is the Live Hard program, which is a whole year program. If you don't know about it, it crushes your soul, but it enlivens the next part of you. And so part of it is you talk to a stranger every day, and this is not like oh, hey, wish you a great day. How you doing? It is a conversation. And so create discomfort for yourself, or life will create discomfort for you. And so put yourself on the bleeding edge of your own growth. Reading books, hearing podcasts, that's good. And that also can be sort of culturally acceptable. But do things that are really, you will go to bed at night going, wow, I did that. And why wouldn't you do that every day of your life? And because we don't know how long we have. And so advancing yourself is going to be the remedy for anything that feels like it's in your way. Everything. So gain new muscle, lose new weight, become a better person, have more empathy, be better at your conversation, go develop deeper relationships. Truly, that's the only thing we're going to walk away in this life is how we felt whenever we left, because we loved in this life. So do it now. Don't wait for your employer to pay for a training for you to go do it. Oh my God. That's something like I hear employers go or employees say, well, we don't have a program for that inside my company. And so I'll pitch it to my boss to make it happen. What if you simply start it and then say, I'm doing this, and they see the effects of you and they're like, I want this for everybody. I was that person in corporate. I got my hand slapped by HR a lot, but I can tell you that I affected change in that company because I didn't wait for it to come to me. I made the advancements wherever I was, and I still do.
Okay. All right.
Advancing yourself is the remedy. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Too. Because, and sometimes when you're advancing yourself, it makes the people around you uncomfortable.
It will. Isn't that fun?
Yes, it is. It is.
I love
it.
That.
It is.
Oh.
But it really is. Advancing yourself is the remedy for many, many things.
Be the person who is the tall poppy. Do you know about tall poppy syndromes? So in the Swedish culture, tall poppies, they grow poppies. And there's fields of poppies, and the poppies need to all stay because their bulbs are about this big. And whenever they harvest the poppies, they cut off the poppy head and they harvest the poppy bulb because that makes poppy stuff, right? We won't say the poppy stuff, but it makes poppy stuff, otherwise known as opium back in the day. Okay, so whenever they harvest the poppies, if there's a tall poppy, if there's a poppy like, I am going to be seen, I am growing, yes, look at me, right? A tall poppy is going to go anywhere from 6 to 8 inches higher than the average poppy. Well, what happens is that greets the other poppies are like, I want to grow big too. Look at that poppy. I can be a tall poppy. And so they advance themselves, and there becomes mounds of poppies and hills of poppies and rolling waves of poppies. And the harvesters are like, this cannot be. We will not allow tall poppies in our field. Go cut off that tall poppy head, and all you other poppies, make that a lesson. You stay down. And so the tall poppy syndrome is a real thing. Look it up, Google it. And so we want to be tall poppies. Don't fear having your head cut off, because the whole world needs more tall poppies. There you go. Hopefully that'll stay with you the rest of the time.
Right there.
Another one. Yeah, just boom again.
Don't fear having your head cut off, Damon.
No fear having your head cut off.
Drop on this program whatsoever. Be the tall poppy. Don't fear having your head cut off. Yep. Man, was that juicy. Tina Marie, you mentioned, I just dropped your website in the chat box again. And guys.
So what I have for you.
Yes.
This is the latest, most juiciest research. You want this. Is that we researched the top 25 global firms that are kicking booty. And we went and found out what are their core values, what's their mission statement, what's their culture like, how do they make it happen? And we put it all into a report for you. It's 15 pages. You're going to see their core values, how they rank globally, and what it means to those companies, and what it means to the employees inside those companies. So if you love that report, I'd love to get it to you. All you need to do is go to bonfirecoaching.com and then type in your email. I'm sending that out today. Special for you guys.
Well, all right. And you also have, I believe, don't you have like an assessment tool, if I recall? Do you have an human?
There is hot in the presses right now. It's not off the presses yet. Hot in the presses is an emotional quotient factor, meaning how do you judge or rate the humanness of your company right now? Because you're going to have a factor, and then where do you want to be and why do you want to be up there? Because it's going to generate so much more passion, aliveness, engagement. Of your greatest asset in any company are the humans. We could say that it's the equipment. We could say it's the land it's built upon. We could say it's the robots that are going to be coming in. No, It's the humans, right? So how do you gauge your EQX, your emotional quotient factor of the humanness inside your company? And then how do you get to a place where you're 10Xing that so that you build an amazing human first culture? Every leader is going to want to know about that. So that's coming. It's hot in the presses. And so if you want it and you want to be first to see it, go to bonfirecoaching.com.
Awesome.
Nice.
Damon, we got a few good comments.
Nice.
Hey, Gail's here today. Gail, this
Yep.
was a juicy on fire conversation. Scott says, hey,
Scott?
it's like focusing on the journey rather than the destination. We grow so much more when we aren't only focused on a goal, but the incremental progress along the way. Scott, brilliant advice. Thank you.
And then Gail, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, she's been listening.
This has been great.
Ashif has been dropping some good comments here. Be
Ooh.
bold. Don't fear having your head cut off. So, all right, I want to be mindful of everybody's time. Tina Marie, I know you are super busy. We're coming into the bottom of the hour. I have two last questions for you. Again, guys, we're here with Tina Marie St.CYR. We have her website in the chat box. We have her LinkedIn profile. Do yourself a favor. Definitely connect with Tina Marie. You know why, right?
And we have a podcast too. So when you go to bonfirecoaching.com, you'll see our podcast at the top. And we feature amazing people like you. So if you're here and you'd love to have your message spread in the airwaves, let us know.
Bring it on. Okay, Tina Marie, two last questions for you. Hopefully, you ready? Here we go.
I'm ready.
You're ready? Okay. Jim and Jeannie, heroes of yours as a little girl growing up in the great city of Houston, Texas.
Tejas.
Moving forward, who or what is your inspiration today? Who or what is your inspiration today?
Well, my first inspiration is my family. And so I know that Jackie's here. So Jackie's my beloved. We celebrate 10 years of marriage next year. Woohoo! And, just knowing that, there's somebody that you come home to that loves you, that understands you. And we're about to travel together next week to New Mexico, going to Albuquerque and Santa Fe. And we're just the best buddies. I mean, I love her dearly. And I just love the time with that. And I know that everyone here, I wish an amazing love on everybody that ever hears this show. Like, I want you to have such passion, aliveness, and connection and regard and trust and respect in your life, because we all deserve it, right? So I'm really grateful for that. And then my kids, and I have a grandson. And so, the first thing is those relationships. And I made it a goal this year. I've had it before, but this year was different. I knew that I wanted to cultivate these very important relationships. And sometimes I'd hear somebody's birthday and I go, oh man, I didn't get anything for them. And, that's one level. But then I'm like, no, I want to know them more. Like my niece and my nephew. I've seen them grow up. They've graduated high school. One has graduated college. And I've seen that. But then I'm like, do I really know them? Do they really know me? Mm-hmm. And so this year, I've put a list together of the people I'm going to cultivate deep, meaningful relationships with. Because like I said, and I've said it multiple times, we don't know how long we have. But I want to be able to know that I've given the amount of love and just overwhelming love to people that matter to me in my life. Mm-hmm. And I have a little dog too. She's really easy to love every single day. Dogs are great because they don't talk back. And so, whenever we love our furry friends, it's because they don't have a conversation with us really. And they don't have any triggers because they think we just are the bomb. And so I love that. But then, what makes me going also is I want to see the world. I love cultures. I love people. I love asking deeper questions that people don't ask. In fact, I toss the question back to you guys. What means things to you? I want to hear from Damon. I don't want to hear from Kurt. What matters most to you in your life? Damon starting. What matters?
Well, we got it flipped on us.
She flipped the table on us, Damon. What do you think about that one?
Yeah. No, it's to me, it's building deeper relationships. And I started that, and I totally neglected that for most of my life, because you're doing, and you don't realize, like you said, but mm-hmm. building the deep relationships, and Kurt knows, and a lot of people know, I went on a trip with my wife here a few weeks ago. We took 2 weeks and drove for 2 weeks in the car and saw a lot of the Western United States. And the biggest part of that was a relationship we were able to build by being in the car, just hanging out, seeing all the stuff, doing that. It's just that is building those relationships is what it's about.
Exactly. Thank you. That touches my heart. And Kurt.
So you know what? It's this right here. I'm like, Tina Marie, you have such a contagious enthusiasm. You are such a beautiful person on the inside, such a beautiful person on the outside. It's just such an enthusiasm. I celebrated my 25th wedding anniversary on Damon's birthday on Monday. My wife and daughter and I, the three of us went away, had a magical, incredible, wonderful weekend, caught a couple Broadway shows, Yankee game. It was just special. And so in a week from, what is today? I don't even know. A week from Monday, Damon and I are going to be in Alaska for a week doing live streams. And so how special is that? So we'll be right here on this program.
More of our crazy
live streams in Alaska. So I agree 100% with both of you. It's all about, I'm being Mr. Captain Obvious and not very original, but it's all about the relationships. So and how I met you, Tina Marie, is through, this was totally out of my comfort zone. There's a wonderful group. Darcy's here today. And if any of our friends that catch us on replay, through Tori Clark, our fearless leader. For anybody who knows Tori Clark, we've come together. We're part of a group, and I get to spend time with Tina Marie in October in person. Can't wait for that. Tina Marie, my last question for you as we wind things down. Okay, Houston Astros, bottom of the ninth, the home game. There's a person on second base. It's a tie score. Dusty Baker turns to the bench and he calls you as the pinch hitter.
Hell yeah! And
as you're walking up to the plate at the bottom of the ninth in the World Series for the Houston Astros for Dusty Baker, person on second base, tied score, 2 outs. What song are you requesting to play as you walk up to the plate?
That's an awesome question.
I know. That's an awesome question.
I have my walk-up song in my head every single time.
What's your walk-up song, bottom of the night?
10 Nugent Stranglehold. 10 Nugent Stranglehold.
Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne.
There you go.
Train, Ozzy Osbourne.
There you go.
Bam, right? All right. And everybody under 45 is like, who?
Yeah, who is this? Yeah, exactly.
Google it.
By the way,
Google Ozzy Osbourne.
By the way, Bregman's on second. Just saying.
Okay. That's right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Awesome answer. Thank you so much. So
what team am I playing against? I just beat.
Yeah. You got to figure that out.
We're going to wind down. Hey, Hannah's here today. Friday's here. Steve. So, hey guys, Tina Marie. All right. So if you've been with us this whole time, I have a request. It's a great time if you've been sitting down. It's a wonderful opportunity. Maybe stand up and stretch. And how about give a big roaring applause for Tina Marie St.CYR for just bringing the heat, just bringing just pure fire, the truth. And so, Tina Marie, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you. We salute you.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, what a blessing. Scott, thank you.
For the ability to be here and share our passion. Humanity rules. And so we're here to help other companies that know that their human assets are the greatest thing that they have going and that they want to advance them even more. With all the fears and uncertainties that we have in our world, how do we do that more and become the leaders that we know inside we are, so that we love leading people instead of feeling drained? We're here for them. 7th inning stretch. Thanks, Darcy. That's funny.
Thank you. Well, thank you everybody for being here today. Thank you for joining us. Tina Marie, again, big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you
so much.
Check out campfirecoaching.com. Connect
Bonfire.
Bonfire.
It's
a bonfire. It's
bonfirecoaching.com. And definitely connect with Tina Marie on LinkedIn. Damon, I'm done. I'm out. You take it away, brother.
All right. I'm just going to take a little breath here.
Got to collect ourselves.
Collect ourselves after being here with Tina Marie all day or for this session of I forgot where we're at. We're at manufacturing e-commerce success, but we're talking about keys to building a human first culture. And wow, did we get an education today and some great things. Thank you so much for being here, Tina. It was just a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Damon. And it's passionate. We had sports. We had Bob Dylan. We had puppies.
Yes.
We had everything here.
Ozzy, we hit a lot today.
We
you
hit
know,
it
like
all. We hit it all.
we did a little over. This was like extra innings, Damon, because like
Yes.
we can't even, we're just like we can't even talk right now. So all right,
we can't even talk.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to say is thanks everyone for commenting. Man, we had so many good comments today. Great questions, comments, and just people that are out there listening and not commenting. Thank you for being there today. But you know what? We're going to be back again next week with another great guest. We're going to have to work like heck to bring it up to Tina's level, but we're going to give it a try. So join us next week for the Manufacturing E-Commerce Success. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks, guys.